As we forge into the new year, there's no denying that the influence of research teams at broker-dealers continues to expand. In response, fund companies need to consider how best to cover these teams and where that coverage should reside, whether that's within national accounts or within a separate group at the firm. I'm Pat Newcomb with Fuse Research, and today we're going to take a few minutes to highlight our recently published National Accounts Benchmark Study, a guide to benchmarking, budgets, and productivity, and discuss the various ways that national accounts groups are covering home office research teams. When considering how to properly cover research teams at broker-dealers, there are three main approaches. The first is to have dedicated due diligence analysts housed within the national accounts group responsible for covering these teams. After holding steady at 29% from 2016 to 2018, the percentage of firms with dedicated due diligence analysts within national accounts fell to 23% in 2019. The second approach is to use existing national account managers to provide research team coverage in addition to their other responsibilities. The percentage of firms in 2019 with national accounts teams members performing due diligence was the lowest in 3 years at 32%. The third and final option is having the responsibility for covering home office research teams sit in a different group outside of national accounts, such as the product team or the institutional team. The percentage of firms for which due diligence is not part of national accounts increased from 37% to 45% in 2019. How firms provide due diligence support differs greatly between large firms and their mid-sized and small counterparts. While about 40% of large firms staff their national accounts units with dedicated due diligence managers and analysts, only a small minority of mid-sized and small firms do so. Even though selling into broker-dealer home offices parallels more closely to institutional sales than retail advisor sales, there are nuances in the due diligence needs of traditional institutional clients compared to broker-dealer professional buyers. Therefore, with the demand for national accounts due diligence support growing, firms must address the needs of both the broker-dealer and, in many cases, the institutional consultant it employs. The trend of centralizing due diligence within the organization suggests that firms are trying to achieve greater cost efficiencies. In our view, this is preferable to national accounts managers covering due diligence teams on their own, as this stretches them too thin and likely results in suboptimal outcomes. We expect that the recent decline in the percentage of firms with a dedicated due diligence team housed within national accounts is temporary. In our experience, this structure is the most likely to provide firms with the level of support necessary to most effectively cover broker-dealer research teams. Here are two possible scenarios that could reverse the 2019 decline. First, a strong sales environment gives more firms the financial flexibility to experiment with this structure, which is unlikely in the near term. And second, the inability of centralized due diligence units to meet the growing needs of national accounts requires the development of specialized due diligence teams, which is more likely. Thank you for taking the time to view this video. If you have any questions about the topic we covered today, or would like to learn more about other topics that are included in the National Accounts Benchmark Study, please let us know. Thanks again and have a great day.